From 116 for 6 to 278, it was a one-man show who showed immense class and character. Liton Das, the savior for Bangladesh on this day. Hello and welcome everybody to ACE Developer Presents Trade Drive. Turn your investments into lifestyle. And to break it down, I've got with me Ramiz Raja and Athar Ali Khan. Very good evening and welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we had a fascinating day of cricket, didn't we? At one point, Bangladesh, it seemed like that they're in a spot of bother or more than that. And then came the rescue, and they've got a respectable total on the board. 278, good total.
All yours. You start. It's been Bangladesh Day, I think.
Thanks, Ramiz. I think Bangladesh will take it because you mentioned 116 for 6 at one stage, and don't forget when Liton came into bat, it was 4 for 106. So 106 for 4. From there to go and get 100, I think magnificent. And it's not an easy pitch to bat on. There's an advantage for the bowlers to exploit, and they did that by picking up early wickets. And they dented the hole because they picked up those 4 wickets pretty quickly, and then they picked up another 2 wickets. Remember, the first test match, there was runs, but not from Liton Kumar Das or Mehdi Hasan Miraj. So it was up to Liton Kumar Das to put his hand up. I mean, he's a class act. I mean, he's got, 200s now in the last, 5 innings, including this one, 300s. So he's been in good nick for the last few test matches. But to be able to bat under the circumstances and to be able to lean on lower middle order and then the lower order, because they were partnership, because it matters. Such a valuable contribution, not just from him, but also from the others, because they didn't score runs, but at least they were with them. I think a total which at that stage, they wouldn't have thought that it would have crossed 200, but 278 is 278 on the board. I think they should be pleased.
Yeah, well, Ramiz bhai, we've seen wickets being taken, we've seen runs being scored. Your overall thoughts quickly on the day?
I think it's slightly Bangladesh's day, even though they got bowled out. And Pakistan would take probably a 260 at the end of the day, but it could have been a lot better. You know, from 116 for 6, they allowed them to crawl back into this contest, courtesy a great 100. But with the way they finished the innings, 21 not out, the opening pair, 2 young kids, debutants from Dhaka. And so it may just fall in place, but they'll have to put up a good show with the bat. And if they can get a lead of about 50, I think then they'll boss this test match.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the next day later on and take the expert's opinion. But let's have a look for the ones who've missed out on the day. It was a fabulous day of Test cricket. Inserted Bangladesh were by Shan Masood, Mahmood Hassan Joy left early. We see 4 batters in their 20s, and then came the Liton Das show, 126 of 159, batting at number 6, and he was accompanied well by the tailenders, and hence the total of 278. They've managed to bat 77 overs. It was a terrific knock, wasn't it, Ramiz?
Yes, extremely important for him to really get cracking at that stage of the game. And not only held the innings together, there was a lot of control and composure and obviously class and quality and the way he read the situation. I mean, this 100, I mentioned it earlier also, he had to go through different phases. He had to bat for himself, bat for the side, get the situation under control and bat well with the tail. And that spread of shots through the leg side and the offside, the singles and the 2s and the 4s and the 6s. It was just a pure innings, a timely 100 under the circumstances. And, it paved the way for Bangladesh to have not exactly a driver's seat, but a front seat at least.
Right. Atabhai, not only that, Ramiz mentioned the phases he batted through and batting with the tailenders, 250-plus partnerships there at the end. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look at that, what he did with Taijul Islam. They had 60, where they stopped the opposition in their tracks. When they took those many wickets, then the resistance from Taijul ensured that Liton could play a little bit freely. That partnership, look at the contribution, Liton to Kumar Das, 43 contribution, where Taijul was 16. So it shows that once you start to trust your partner with the lower order, Taskini added few more, then the 50 plus against Shori when he batted with Shori full.
Yeah.
I think one also needs to understand that this is his third Test match 100 against Pakistan. His altogether is now 6 Test match 100. Hopefully many more to come in future. And he likes batting against Pakistan. 26 for 6, I remember the Rawalpindi Test match in that second Test match when he got that magnificent 138. So knowing that he had done that in the past, but on that surface, if you compare this surface, this has got a lot to offer for the bowlers, especially for the seamers. So it was even more difficult to bat with the lower order. I think magnificent 100. I mean, to me, it's gold in these circumstances to get 100 because your top 5 were down and out very quickly.
Yeah, right.
We have time for a little comment?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right, okay. So technically, Pakistan didn't really go great during that phase. I think they just persisted with tactics that were sort of based on defense and not enough pressure was put on the last few wickets. Also, I think there was a reset button that was needed because they saw Litton Das really to cane the opposition, and then this continued for a longer period than it was needed. And I think that is where Pakistan fell short of the mark.
Right, but the seamers actually did the job. You know, they got 9 out of the 10 wickets. And when we mentioned that Bangladesh had lost 6 wickets, it was the seamers who did the damage. And initially, they did look that they were on top, the Pakistan seamers.
Yeah, I mean, the first part was brilliantly done by Pakistan. And the catching was good. There was a chirp in the slip cotton as well. They looked up for it. And it was an important first session for them because if they had gone cold after being defeated at Dhaka, it would have been a lot worse for them. But they rode back in a way and had it covered. 116 for 6, some great deliveries in between. That was a beauty to get rid of Mominul. And they struck right throughout. Shanto was another who was shaping up well. A lot of 20s from the top order. And it was felt during that period that maybe it wasn't such an easy pitch to bat on because you're never in. The ball was seaming around, not consistently, but you get one great delivery. And so if your focus was off, you were done. I thought Sajid Khan was persistent for a very, very long time. I mean, on day one, how many times would you want to bowl an off-spinner for 30 plus overs on a green belter? That's rare. And I think because the others, especially Hassan Ali, was below par, that Shan Masood felt that he was getting a bit of control from Sajid, but then came that brilliance from Litton Das, and Hassan Ali in the end ended up with 2, but by that time, I think the damage had been done.
Right. Atabhai, you know, Pakistan coming in with 3 changes, and one of them, Khurram Shahzad, in the end coming out with 4 wickets. It was a good inclusion.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what he did when he came into the attack, because he is the one who started picking up wickets, and when you make a change and when he starts picking up wickets, that means you've made the right call. But just going back to what Ramiz mentioned, I think it's the second session. Second session, they started really well when they grabbed those 3 wickets very quickly, very cheaply, without giving any runs. I think within 10 overs, they have picked up 3 wickets. But then after that, that phase, Shan Masood continued with Sajid for, I think, a little bit longer. I think too long to give him that longer spell. Because when you look at the pitch itself, it was favorable to the seamers. There was movement in the air and off the surface. Fine. He had put the brakes on. He'd bowled a good spell. Taking off, bring in as seamer so that they could have knocked that partnership with Taijul and Lichun Kumar Das were batting. I think he didn't get it right. But that's the name of the game. You miss your opportunity and then you start thinking, oh, what have I done? It was too late because Litton was looking very, very good.
Well, thoughts from the experts, but what a super Saturday this has been. Only day 1 here of the second test match, but already so eventful. Time for a short break here on Ace Developer Presents Straight Drive. We'll be right back. Welcoming you all back from the serene city of Sylhet. This is Ace Developer Presents Straight Drive. Ramiz Raza, Athar Ali Khan alongside. What a day we had, but it could have been different. Ramiz Bhai, coming to you first. 2 decisions not reviewed by Pakistan, particularly when Litton Das, one of them, when Litton Das was on 52.
So it's partly Pakistan's mistake and largely umpires' mistakes because they could have called it better. I mean, and it would have sort of paved the way for Pakistan.
That's one of them.
Yeah. So Mushfiq got out immediately, but then there was this partnership scenario as well, and this was a big, big mistake. He was on 52, went on to get a 127, and both times Rizwan just didn't make that extra effort to maybe consult somebody else, because the onus was on him to let the others know that there is some doubt, so let's go for it. Even it was, half an attempt at it, they should have still called it, because we've seen them to waste DRS on meaningless calls. But this could have been the clincher for them.
Yeah, otherwise, it's not always easy, but yeah, you do depend on the wicketkeeper as well to, lead you towards such calls.
I mean, if you look at what he did initially, I mean, I'm not talking about the one of Mushfiq Rahim, but the one that was of Litun Kumar Das. He went up straight away, and it looked like that he was confident because he appealed straight away. But then it died down. So as a keeper, I mean, he's the closest to the batter. And obviously the bowler in his follow-through will probably hear something. But at times it's difficult because once it comes off the gloves, you don't really hear the sound. But Ramiz is spot on. I mean, even with that, on that stage, you needed to take your chances against someone like Litun Kumar Das, because he was the one who was looking dangerous. On 52, got alive because nobody asked for the review, and he ended up scoring more than 100. So makes a massive difference to the total that Bangladesh made in the end.
Yeah, perhaps because they had already lost 2 reviews, but what's gone is gone. Speaking of, coming into bat, there's been a tweak in the opening pair as far as Pakistan are concerned. Both of them making their debut in the Mirpur Test and being asked to go on and have a bat. Seemed okay, seemed good actually.
Yeah, thrown at the deep end, but that's how you learn the art of batting, and you want to challenge yourself. I think technically both are decent enough, especially Azam is technically well equipped to face the challenge on any surface. I think as far as Fazal is concerned, I mean, that little stint that we saw from him, there were opportunities for him to score a few boundaries because he was blocking the half volleys. So I think it's a mindset, and I think they've got to get rid of that mindset. If you see a loose ball, for an Aussie, for example, for an Indian, for example, even for a Litton Das, that would have gone and hit the fence. I think it's that kind of a mindset that needs to be developed, that if it's in my range, and if it's a boundary ball, I'm going to go for it. But anyway, it's not a bad start at all, 21, and they've looked very, very confident. So let's see what happens to the pitch. Let's see if a couple of wickets fall, what happens to Pakistan's DNA. I mean, there weren't great recall moments last time they played in Dhaka, so they've got to gather courage, make sure that they battle it out. And if they can get closer to Bangladesh's score, I think it'll be a good test match.
Yeah, 21 for no loss, Atabhai, trailing by 257. What do you see for coming?
Well, I would like to see more wickets tomorrow in the first session for sure, because it was the first session which life was difficult for the batters. I'm not taking any credit away from the 2 young openers. I thought they looked solid. Because Azam Awais has got a century on debut. Even Abdullah Fazal has a couple of 50s in his both the innings that he has played. But this is a different surface, Shaman. This is a different surface where it's a little bit more for the seamers, especially for the seamers. And on day 2, Bangladesh will be hoping that the seamers in the first hour or so can knock over a couple of wickets.
Nahid Rana, 5 for 40, will carry on the momentum and bring it here?
Why not? He's the quickest of the lot. He can be extremely dangerous on these surfaces like this. And if he can bowl the way he has bowled or what he has shown so far, I think he'll be the main bowler who can really push the opposition on the back foot. But also the fact that there is Taskin Ahmed and there is Shariful Islam.
Right.
So they have a good bowling attack. But what is important for Bangladesh is to make sure that when they come back tomorrow morning, they've got to pick up an early wicket.
Right. Yeah, but it was Taskin, who got them the breakthroughs in critical hours in the first test. But how about someone like a Babar Azam, who is back in the 11 and certainly has that experience, Ramiz bhai?
Yeah, it won't be straightforward for Babar Azam. I'm sure that Nahid Rana will be unleashed the moment he walks into bat. And he'll have a severe test of his skill and his form. And also, I think there'll be high expectations also. If he gets cracking, then Pakistan should be able to then get better than Bangladesh in that first innings. But a lot to look forward to. I mean, we're talking about Rana and the pitch and, Bangladesh raring to go once again. But Pakistan, with their backs against the wall, it'll be a great sort of view and watching them display courage, skill, and Babar Azam once again can hog the limelight. So I'm so looking forward to this.
Oh, so am I. So am I. And I'm sure so are you guys, be it Babar Azam, be it Nahid Rana, be it Taskin Ahmed or Shan Masood. You can't miss out on the action. This is day 2 of the second test of the Dutch Bangla Bank series. It's a 9:45 a.m. start live from the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. And trust me, you don't want to miss out. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
It's a new setup. Actually, we're all looking nice, I think.
Nice and cozy, hopefully. Yeah. And hopefully you've enjoyed it. This is it from Ace Developer Presents Trade Drive. Turn your investments into lifestyle.